Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Are you guys able to hear me? Can you give a quick thumbs up? You will find emoji on your dashboard. You can just click thumbs up if you're able to hear me and see me clearly. Great, 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 great. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all who is joining from different platforms. So, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, guys. Thank you for joining this session for today where the topic is going to be data science interviews at top companies, right? So, here the major focus would be what is going to be your journey, right? To join a top company, when we call top company, all the leaders, market leaders in different sectors, what is going to be your journey? If you are someone who want to get into this field, what should be your journey? How you should start? What all skills you require? All those things we are going to talk about it, and actually what differentiates you from anybody else, what all things you should focus on. Those things are going to be topic for today, while I will be taking you through, and I am going to be your speaker for today. I am Alok Anand, and I have more than 7+ years of experience in data science field, working as data scientist, working as machine learning engineer, working with top companies, American Express, Blackbuck. So overall, my work has been around deploying the machine learning models, working on the analytics point of view as well, ensuring that things are stable at scale, where millions of people are using my system. So all those things have been my journey throughout. And now currently I am here as chief of operations and handling as the head of data science department at AlmaBetter. So I will be at your perusal for today. You can ask any question. You can put your question in the chat. You can put in any platform you guys are listening to me. You can put the question and my team, and I will try to answer it to the best as I can and or we can, right? So please utilize this session. This session is going to go on for almost 1.5 hours. This session is going to be your go-to session where you can get your doubts resolved, right? This is an initiative by AlmaBetter where we try to ensure that whoever wants to get into this field, they have the right understanding, right knowledge, right expectation how to go forward. There are a lot of people from engineering, non-engineering, tech, non-tech background where they are pretty much confused whether this field is right for me or not, what all challenges I'm going to face, and how I am going to see myself in the top company. That is something which I want to talk about and give you guys a glimpse of how this industry or sector or career choice looks like. Sounds good, guys. I believe this is something which I wanted to discuss, and I am sure that this is going to be helpful to all of you guys. Be there, be with me, get all your doubts resolved. I will be here until all of you guys have got your answer which you want to get, right? From today's session. Okay, so without further ado, we will start the discussion, right? We'll start the discussion. So next, let me just take you guys through the agenda for today. First of all, before we discuss about how to get into top product companies or top companies, I would say, you need to first understand about all about data science, because I believe a lot of you might have some understanding about data science. I'm sure that today everywhere you see data science, everywhere machine learning, AI, it has come so close to our life that in our applications, in all the platforms, you will see some kind of artificial intelligence or machine learning integrated, right? And chat gpt now, right after college or right from college, people have started using it for their assignments, for their projects, and after college as well, in companies you will see people have started using it. So people know about data science, people know about machine learning and AI, but what is the core of it? Are you able to differentiate what is data analyst versus data science, right? What is the difference between these two fields? So that is something which I want to demystify and ensure that you guys have the clear understanding about these terminologies at the end of the session. Then we have required skills and classification, right? Qualifications, right? So in case of if you want to get into this field as a fresher, uh, as a fresher, when you are starting it off, from where you should start? What should be your focus? Should it be like PhD level mathematics, or should it be like all about machine learning you have to know, or is it something else which you should focus when you start it off as a fresher, right? Then interview process. So us having partnered with almost now 1,000+ companies, right? We have worked in the past 3 years. AlmaBetter has been in this domain just to ensure that we are helping students to get their first job in tech domain, right? So to get the first job in tech domain, you have to partner with companies because it's an ecosystem of student, us, and the company, and all of us, get the benefit out of it. So companies, how their process has been until now, that is something I'm going to give you some idea about it, and few case study questions. So after the session, what intrigues you, what are you going to search about to ensure that, okay, this is something which is very interesting for me, and let me take the data science field if that suits you, if that intrigues you. That is going to be agenda for today's masterclass, right? We will try to cover all these in 1.5 hours. So be with us. If you are interested, if you want to know about us, then please feel free to put it in the chat. Our team is there. They will definitely help you out in the meantime as well during this session. Okay. All right. So next, let's talk about the first, all about data science, right? So data science, first of all, let's understand this. Let's understand the data science. What do you mean by it, right? So first of all, data science, if I have to define it, it's like getting insights from data, right? You have some information present, right? So now each and every company, they store the information about you, about me, about all of us, and that is as basic as what your name is, right? Data can be what your name is. It can go till what all activity you do on the website, what all are your preferences. All these things are stored by companies based on their requirement, right? Now, if you utilize this data and convert this data into some insights, right? You convert this data to insights. Some answer you are able to get, right? Some answer you are able to get. In this case, if you are getting this insight, right, out of the data, then you will be in the data science field, utilizing the millions and billions of data. You can imagine per hour, per minute, there are millions and billions of searches happening on Google. How Google identifies which link to show, right? That is some machine learning engineer or data scientist is working at the back end of it, right? They are trying to develop some logic based on the information and the data present. There are analysts sitting in companies. They are trying to look at which market to expand the business. They analyze the whole scenario and try to help out the businesses to get into the new domain. That is also one side of it, right? Now, if somebody in the company, if they want to know, okay, this last year my revenue, let's say last year my revenue went down by 10%. So who is going to look at it, that why it went down by 10%, right? So data analyst, they are going to be the person who is going to look at it. So overall, what I'm talking about right now, the crux of this is there are some information stored by companies. From those information converting to insights, that's the work of data science, right? From information to insight, right? The crux is this. You have some information. If you don't utilize it, it's just there. It's not getting utilized. But when data scientist comes in picture or data analyst comes in picture, they convert this to insight, which helps the companies to take the next step, which helps company to make their system better, their processes better. This is what we do. This is what we do as a data scientist or data analyst. So now let me come down to what is the difference between these two roles, because I believe this is very wide spreaded confusion that data analyst, data scientist, these two are two different domains. I want to become data scientist, not data analyst. So how do you demystify it? How do you understand the difference between these two? So first of all, one thing which I want to clarify before I go further, that data analyst and data scientist, these two are the profiles along with other profiles which I'll talk about later. These two profiles specifically, it comes under data science domain itself, right? It comes under data science domain, right? So in this case, if you are right now starting it off, you can now understand what is the difference between these two, and why do you see companies are posting different roles, and they are hiring for different things, what all skills you require. So let's first understand Then if these two are under data science field, what is the difference between data analyst and data scientist? Okay, so now first of all, if you are doing the analysis, there are broadly two categorization of analysis as a data science field. In data science field, if you are working on, you will be doing, first is diagnosis and second is predictive. Okay, first is diagnosis and second is predictive. What do you mean by this? Let's say I'll take an example. You go to doctor, right? You got go to doctor, somebody is going to doctor, and there, if doctor is saying that go and do some tests, right? Do some test first, do some test and give me the report. Now based on that report, some insights and actions doctor will suggest you, some medication will suggest you, right? So here what is happening, doctor is telling you to do some diagnosis at first, to get the proper information, do some tests so that I can understand what is the issue. Now, in companies, right? In companies, data analyst is the role. They examine the past data. So, whatever happened in the past, to understand the root cause of events, behaviors, outcome, something like what is right now happening, why that is happening. Like, as I given you one example, right? Here you have this revenue 10% going down, like the amount or the sales was happening, जितना पैसा एक company को आ रहा था, that went down by 10%. Now who is going to break it down? Look at it, past में क्या हुआ उस ईयर में, which product was the highest selling, which product did not perform well, why that product did not perform well, in which market that product did not perform well, who was the responsible distributor, why in that particular area people were not maybe interested in this product. You drill down on the root cause of it. And how you do it? You look at the past data, you look at the past data to understand why something is happening. And it can be anything. You have to decide, okay, you have to decide why on my website people are not coming, right? Why on my website visitors has gone down, visitors have gone down. Visitors matlab, if you go to, let's say, any website, facebook.com, almabetter.com, google.com, all these websites on the internet, if you go there, it is considered as the visitor. Why it has gone down? So there can be multiple cases for this, right? Your Google search page is not coming up, or it can be something else as well. So all these analysis, when you utilize the past data to understand the root cause of events and behaviors, you will be called as data analyst, right? You diagnose the event, like doctor diagnose the diagnose the disease. They look at the data, okay, what is the current status? That is what data analyst does. They look at the past data and understand why something happened, right? Why visitors on website went down. Or it's not just like you are going to look at only the problems, you will also look like, okay, currently what are my numbers which I should tracking, right? You always need to track the numbers to make better and better. And that is where I want to tell you, in this era now, right, there is no company who will survive the bloodbath of competitors if you are not tracking the right data, right? If you are not tracking the right data, you will not survive. As simple as that, right? And you must be seeing, if you, so recently Shark Tank India, it has come up, right? And there you will see how important it is to get all your numbers right. So those numbers, who will be getting it for you? Data analyst. So as a company, data analyst, they get those numbers for you, analysis, looking at all those data to give you the final. Okay, that is what the work of data analyst is, right? You have mostly, from, if you are a fresher, you can get into this. When you start your journey in data science, mostly you will be first understanding the past data, diagnosing it, you understand the business about it, so all those things you do. So as a fresher, you join in this particular side of it as a data analyst, right? What do you need? Python, SQL, we will talk more about it later as well, but just a basic understanding: Python, SQL, dashboarding tools like Tableau, Power BI, a little bit of statistics like hypothesis testing, confidence interval, probability distribution. These are some things which you, so we have also covered this in the curriculum. You can just go about, you will be able to find the details of each and everything, right? You can go to our website and look for the data science curriculum. It will give you the details of each and every topic which should be covered to make you an end-to-end data analyst plus data scientist, as well as a fresher if you want to get into, right? So you can get into the details of the topics as well as per the curriculum. Now similar roles: market analyst, risk analyst, business analyst, product analyst. So it's kind of like, as a data analyst, if you are working with marketing team to help them understand which channel to invest the money for the ad, from where users are coming in. If you are working with finance team to make them understand, okay, what are the risks in the business analyst, if you are working with, let's say, business people, business folks, to help them understand how to in which country, in which region, in which city to expand the business, and all those different things, right? Product analyst, you are working with the product team. So this is what the whole scenario of data analyst is. Now your question would be in your mind, that what is the difference between then data analyst and data scientist? How do you differentiate these two roles? Now, data analyst, they use the past data to understand the current scenario. Data scientists, they use the past data to predict future trend, to predict future trends and events. So data analysts, they tell about the current scenario. Data scientists, they tell you, okay, what will be if revenue has gone down by 10% last year? What is the probable revenue for this year? Probable revenue for this year. So here they are predicting the future. It's called as predictive analysis. Here you get into ML, DL, deep learning, machine learning. These are the concepts. These are nothing but few algorithms, concepts which help you identify the pattern. Okay. So let's say if I give you very simple thing, right? Say if my in 2012, let's say the sale was 10 million. In 13, sale was, let's say, 15 million. In my 14, what will be the sale? Your simple understanding can be, it will be 20, right? There is some pattern which you have identified, that in my 12, 10 million, 15 in your 2013, 15 million. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Some series, some logic, some pattern you have found, right? तो it's easy, like basic pattern which you have figured out कि अगर 5 million का increase हो रहा है, so it will be 20 millions at the end in 2014. Likewise, if you try to calculate, you can get it for 2024 as well. You know, if you see the pattern for each and every year. So this is the simplest way of talking about what machine learning does. But at the core of it, all the different algorithms, everything is designed to tell you what is going to be the prediction, what is going to happen tomorrow, what this person is going to do, what is the probability of doing something. That is what data scientist works on. Now you can understand the experience it is required to predict for tomorrow, because it totally depends upon the industry insights, understanding of the company. Then only you can predict it. And even as a fresher, if you join tomorrow and say that, see, this is what I predict, that in the next year this is how much we are going to earn, right? This is how much we are going to earn, right? So this is not something which we are which somebody will believe, that you don't have experience to understand the nuances about it. But with time, with working with experienced people, you will gain that experience ki how to ensure that whatever you are predicting, there is a confidence interval to that, which comes under statistics. How do you say that, okay, this is going to be my range of the prediction in each and every month? How like I can say that this is what my expected error would be. So all those are practical things which comes with lot of business understanding and with experience. So that's why data scientist role, it's a progression. You start first understanding the past data to know the today, and then you gain, so slowly you gain the experience to know about tomorrow, right? So this is what your data scientist role is. Diagnostic analysis is your data analyst role. Predictive analytics, it's your data scientist role. So I hope it is clear to all of you guys. Always think about it whenever you understand, whenever it is coming now to you, if you see anywhere data analyst, data scientist, three things you should remember. First is, right, first is first is here, first thing which you have to Learn first thing which you have to know about that these two fields are under data science field itself, right? These two are under the data science field, right? Second, you need to understand that data analysts, they mostly work with diagnostic. Data scientists, they work with predictive, right? Third, as a fresher, when you're starting it off, mostly your work alignment will be towards the analysis, using the data to use SQL, your dashboarding tool, statistics ka uses, A/B testing. These are going to be your purview of work. Then you slowly, with experience, you get into machine learning, and then you start building models to predict the future. And now, very interesting insights by Kevin. So example which I have given, it's very straightforward of increasing just by 5 million. But yes, that is also another way of looking at it. By looking at the percentage increase, what should be in the next year. But here, it can be a simple, progression, EP, arithmetic progression, not getting into the percentage to make it complicated. I hope you have understood. But good insight. This is actually what happens. You always look from the percentage point of view when you try to get the answer. Great. So I hope you guys have understood the difference between data analyst and data scientist role. Now, you might have heard about different other roles as well, right? So let's say as a fresher, as I mentioned, data analyst, you have business intelligence developer. So what do you mean by that? Specifically, you might be working as Power BI developer. You might be working as Tableau developer, right? So these are coming under business intelligence developer, right? So these are again very complete tool in itself. There can be other business intelligence or dashboarding tools which you might be using, but these two are mostly covering the market right now. These two have captured the market. So Power BI is right now by Microsoft, right? And Tableau is by Salesforce. So not right now, they have Salesforce has acquired Tableau now, right? So they are right now doing cut to cut competition. They are right now facing in the industry to acquire more and more companies for the platform. So mostly you will see Tableau and Power BI and Tableau developer being the roles under business intelligence developer, right? As a fresher, this is where you can get into. And again, junior data scientist as well. In some companies, if that company is very specific to the machine learning, if their product itself is very much related to machine learning, then as a junior data scientist also, you might get into it, right? But these are the generic rules. These are the generic rules. Even if you are from any other domain, okay, if you are from any other domain, let's say you are from different domains, let's say mechanical engineering, you are from civil engineering, you are from different domains, then also you can get into these, right? But sometimes these are like very profile specific roles, right? These are profile specific roles where if you have some degree, or if you have some experience in finance, right, or in banking sector, then this particular role will be open for you even as a fresher if you have some understanding in this domain, prior experience, right? If you have some experience around marketing, so market analyst. If you have some experience in logistics, supply chain, then operational analyst is something which you might be good for. Then business analyst mostly, again, it has lot of requirements around communication, around like little bit of MBA part of it you should be knowing. So that is something might be interesting for you if you want to get into business analyst. These are like very specific roles which you are going to find, but these are the generic roles which you can get into as a if you want to get into data science field as a fresher. But it will never be a jump of machine learning you will start applying from day one itself. It will never happen. That it has not happened for me, it has not happened for 98% of the people outside. So you have to jump that ladder. You have to go through that particular ladder in a particular way itself. Maximum you can jump 2 step 3 step, but not the whole ladder itself to go to the next level. So you have to go through a certain journey, and that journey starts from first analysis, being Power BI or some developer, or starting with junior data scientist, or in this field, then you get to the experience side, experience role which you are going to get, right? Now, if I get here, now once you have, let's say, 1 or 2 years of experience, greater than 1 year of experience, I would say, okay, then you have chance to get into these field as per what projects you have worked on. So data scientist, as I mentioned, predictive analytics, big data engineer, when you are now, it's very specialized in Hadoop, Spark. These are the tools or languages which you use to manage the big data, like where you have huge amount of data coming in. All these things I'll not get into the detail, but it is something where you have where big companies are hiring, right? Top companies are hiring for big data engineers. So your job would be to maintain the whole infrastructure of distributed computing using any tool they are using. Maybe it is Spark, Cassandra, there are different tools, right? But as an experience, you will understand where you will fit in. Where you will fit in, that is something which you have to learn over the time. Then ML engineer. Now, ML engineer is a role which involves deployment, cloud, interaction with cloud, making your. So I have worked as ML engineer. So here in this case, ML engineer, my role was the developing the model. That's one side of it. But the next was to ensure that this is deployed, right? When I say deployed, it means, let's say, on Amazon, somebody is designing the recommendation system, but finally that recommendation system as an algorithm will become live for users, that is something which you are going to which we mean by deployment. And here, deployment with number of users, number of people interacting with your system, it becomes too complicated to handle. So that is what the work of ML engineer is. With experience, you get into it, right? Then specific roles. Let's say if you have done some masters in computer science, if you have gone into deep learning, if you have some experience, you have done some project in computer vision. Computer vision is like when you deal with image, and NLP is when you deal with text, right? So if you have worked on these, so you will become AI engineer. Now data engineer is again very specialized role where you work with whole system, from where data will come till how it is structured in whole cloud. That is something the work of data engineer is. Cloud is the place like AWS. These are the web services, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. These are the platforms where data is stored, जहां पे डेटा स्टोर होता है, ठीक है? कहीं पे तो आपका ये जो मैं बातें कर रहा हूँ, जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर होता है, ये तो कहीं जाके स्टोर हो रहा होता है, राइट? सो ये क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म से पे स्टोर होता है, और वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज ने वो अवेल करवाया है. Those are the servers. Let's say AWS is by Amazon, GCP is by Google, Azure is by Microsoft. These big companies, big giants, they have given you space on their server, kind of like laptop present. Some collection of laptop has been given to you as a memory or hard disk, you can imagine, where you can store your data, and they have given you on rent, right? So you pay some amount based on the uses. Now, this is what your data engineer does around the cloud and everything. Then you have research analyst. This is the role where you go more specific, right? Let's say you get into something very, very specific in algorithmic trading. I'm just getting into a different domain altogether. Financial risk analyst is just the start of it, but you are the researcher in the algorithmic trading, that what kind of algorithm will give me the maximum profit. That can be one side of it where you are going very deep into the subject, right? And that can get into any field, right? You can get into, let's say, supply chain mein, how you can design the distribution, what that algorithm will be, how last mile delivery can be optimized, like whoever is delivering to you, lot of algorithm is running, just not just for Zomato, Swiggy, for Amazon, from wherever you are getting the product at the end with you in hand. Lot of algorithms are running, right? What should be the size of package, what should be the optimal amount of package should be sent together. So there are a lot of different things, right? So my point, net your outcome should be two things from here. First is, as a fresher, right, what should be your goal? If you have some specific knowledge or understanding, then you can, you know, look forward to joining these roles. But you can very well get into data analyst, business intelligence developer, junior data scientist. So these are the fields you will be starting off, right? These are the fields where you will be getting into the industry. Now once you get into it, then you can choose among other roles to get into it. Now after that, once you have understood that, okay, I want to get more towards the ML side, I want to get towards the cloud engineering, I want to go more towards the research on this particular field, so accordingly you will take it through, right? This is what I wanted to talk about it, guys, right? So that you have the understanding as a fresher, where do you lie and what should be your choice, right? If you are now, generally, if you are from, let's say, non-engineering background, right, generally your profile will be more suited for business intelligence developer. If you are from non-IT but engineering, so your profile will be more suited for data analyst, right? If you are from CS background or from IT background, then your profile will be more suited for junior data scientist role, right? So I'll just give you a brief about this. Now these are again a very generic rule, anybody can be can get this, but just I'm giving you a, you know, thumb rule. Okay, I'm giving you a thumb rule. These are the generic rules, but I'm just giving you a thumb rule that you, if you are from that domain, what you should be aiming for. So data analyst, this is something for non IT engineering, but little bit of engineering is required. Business developer, I would say non IT. Of course, even if you're from non engineering, this can be your starting point to get into the industry. And here you need the IT domain ka some background to get into this junior data scientist. So accordingly, you can aim your, you know, you can aim for which profile, and then you can get deeper into that. Okay, that is something which I want to overall talk about, and these are the profile specific roles which you can get. Okay, let's now get to the next part here. Let's now get to the next part. So overall, you should be choosing this field, right? If you have joined this session, so you know that this is something which has come up pretty recently. All other domains, it has been for past 50 years, 60 years, even before that. But this domain is very recent, not I would say older than 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Earlier it was like statistics, all those. Now it has come up as data scientist, data analyst, and all these roles have come up. The reason is boom of data, right? Earlier, data was not stored in a way which can be analyzed, right? Earlier, information or data was stored in files, and that too in physical files, right? It was difficult to analyze. That's why this field was not recognized at all. But once this internet boom happened, right? And then once this internet boom happened, people realized that data can be stored in a very scalable manner, right? Every day, TBs and TBs of data is being generated on Google. They are storing it. So they have done it in a very, I would say, very optimized manner. So GPU, TPUs, these are different. CPU you might have heard, but GPU and TPU, these are very advanced thing. They have figured out to store the data and get the data as well, right? So once this has started coming up in the market, where people can now get into or get utilize these technologies to store the data and then do the analysis. So now data has become more accessible, data has become more structured to ensure that data scientist or analyst can work on it, right? And overall, this particular profile is going to boom in the future as well. Be it right now it's specific to data science and data analyst, but after 5, 6, 7 years you will see each and every role will have the touch of data science and data analysis, because each and every role will require the understanding of this, right? That is something, of course it is going to come, right? So now, few things which I want to talk about. So starting from high demand, right now it's at the peak. Right now, I'll not say at the peak, it's right now growing, right? It's growing as hell. You should be, if you are interested, even if you are interested by 1%, you should be exploring it, taking the decision, getting into this. That is something which will happen, let's say, later, but at least you should be exploring and thinking about it, right? We have seen बहुत सारे different roles say people are getting into it, but one thing that is very important is your interest. At the end of it, if you have the right interest, then only you should get into this field. And once you get into this, like any other career, you have to give your whole heart and soul, right? If you give that, you will get into this career, and you will always have the positive aspect of these things throughout of this career, right? Because it's something which will really intrigue you in terms of analysis, insights, logical. It's not repetitive, like it's not something which will happen every day, same thing. The analysis and insights every day, it totally depends upon you how in depth you are getting into. All right. So again, that this is what your high demand is. Lucrative salaries, of course. You will be part of the company where your analysis will help make the decision, right? So they want to get the smart people. You have to become smart, and then you should know that what to talk about, how do you present yourself, how do you communicate as per the requirement which everybody will understand. So those all things are there which you have to look at it. Companies are going to hire smart people. Top companies are going to hire the smartest people, right? So you will get lucrative salaries only because your role in company is pretty well defined, and you are going to get really good salary at the end, right? Now, remote work options. So again, in this case, if you are actually getting into, if you are interested कि remote work मिल जाएगा, work from home मिल जाएगा, so you should be thinking about data science or tech domain per se. ठीक है? It's not specific data science, I would say. Tech domain में remote work option you can uh, look at, or you can avail, but in other domains you have to be there in office and all those things. Okay, so these are the perks which you can use. At global impact, you can get the job at any place. If you are, if this particular role can be executed from anywhere from the world, then it can be, you can be part of any company outside, inside India, whatever it is happening, right? Wherever you can get the opportunity, your option to get the opportunities goes up by multifold, right? Now, entrepreneurial opportunity. So once you get into this field, right, once you get into this field, there are multiple sectors which you will see it will open up, and you will start having the understanding of problems, right? So when I was, let's say, working, my interest, my passion was in instructorship, teaching, consultancy, working as a freelancer. I had a understanding about ki, okay, this is what I can take up, I can get into edtech field. So when I was working in company, I saw there is a skill gap versus requirement by companies. So we started this, we got into this. Once you work in the company, you will figure out, okay, this simple, let's say, problem statement where I need to work, create some platform where dashboarding will be done specific to manufacturing. When you go to manufacturing, lot of problems. When you go to pharma or medical, lot of problems. And as an analyst, you get to see that firsthand, and it gives you really good proof from the data as well. So you will have a lot of thoughts and ideas how to execute from entrepreneurial point of view. And one more thing which I have seen, that data analyst, data scientist, your interaction will be done with really top management, because whatever analysis you have done, they want to look at it, right? So that excess of talking to smart folks, how they are looking at company, how they are managing, what are problems, they will come to your desk and ask you कि चलो बताओ क्या चल रहा है, कैसे चल रहा है. We have seen it. So I just wanted to give you an overview, an idea how it is happening in the industry, right? So this is what is going to be your plus points when you are thinking about becoming a data scientist. Now at the end of it, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be straightforward, it's not going to be something कि आज start किया कल हो जाओगे. Never, right? Simple, एक छोटा सा जॉब लेने के लिए अगर आप चाहते हो तो आपको 6 6 महीने, 8 8 महीने, 10 10 महीने आपको प्रिपेयर करना पड़ता है उसके लिए. एंड दिस जॉब इज सो lucrative. This job is something which requires smart folks to give right analysis. अगर गलत analysis दे दोगे तो it can incur a lot of loss for the company. So all those things, it require smart folks, and you need to spend time. You need to be there with whole heart and soul. Ki, this is something which I want to take up, I will not give up. So this is something which you have to look into it. Now, one thing, this particular material I am going to definitely share with all of you guys who have joined from all the platforms. This link specifically, I'll share it with all of you, right? This link I will share it with all of you in the chat, right? So this is something which you can further read what is the future of data science and AI, right? What is the future of data science and AI? And in this case, if you are going to look at, just give me 1 minute, right? In this case, this is something done, this survey and this article is done by India Brand Equity Foundation. So it's something which is very official, how India as a government and the policy makers, they look at this field. What is the future of data science and AI? So it's very interesting read. We've say this got updated last year, but it is something which predicts you for the 2025, that what is going to be the expectation of this field, right? So please go through it, understand it by yourself, and you will get a lot of understanding and the visual of what is going to be the future. Okay, that is going to be my request for you, that please research it, please look at it from your end. Okay. Now, getting to the next part, salary. If you have this in mind, okay, I thought about it. I have to, let's say, even if I get into it, what is going to be the range of salary? What should be my right expectation? So, according to this source, again, this source, I'm going to put it in the chat if you want to have a look and do further analysis. It's something which you can take up. So, this is the source which I have put in the chat. So, now here, mostly you can look at the median is around 6 to 7, right? That is true. As a fresher, when you want to get into entry level salary, I'm talking about, it can go to 10 lakh to 12 lakhs, right? That is something which you can aim for. And then it somewhere starts from 3 to 4 as well, right? 3 to 4 based on your skill set, based on the company's requirement as well. It starts from 3 to 4, and the average median will be 6 to 7. Okay, median will be 6 to 7. Like for us, in most of the cases, we have like our promise is 5 LPA, right? 5 LPA. But sometimes students, they come from their end and then mention ki, yeah, this project is really good. Even though I'm getting, let's say, 4.5, 4.6, I'm going to accept this. Why? Because this field in itself, if you gain the experience, the trajectory is very high, right? Growth in your career is going to be very high. So that is something people take the bet on. Ki, yaar, I'm going to start it today, take the 1 year of experience. Maybe I will look for a better opportunity, better project to work on. So at the end of it, this field is all about, if you have the right skill, if you are good at it, you will be rewarded with good amount of money. ठीक है, एंड ऑलवेज यू विल हैव द अपॉर्चुनिटी. देखिए, हमेशा क्या होता है कि कोई भी रोल ना दो चीजों पे डिपेंड करता है, आपके स्किल सेट पे, और दूसरा उसका डिमांड कितना है फ्रॉम द कंपनी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, राइट? सो इफ you have the right skill, if you have the good skill, and demand in case of data science is also high, you will be rewarded. Okay, you will be rewarded from companies end. चलिए नेक्स्ट चलते हैं. सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. सो यू कैन बी रेस्ट assured that at least the starting point will be so rewarding and lucrative that you can think about getting into it and putting your whole heart and soul in this field. ठीक है. Next, this question I get from lot of people, right? Lot of students, which I want to clarify since you guys have joined. So what is the scope of non-tech background in data science field, right? How do you think about it? How is going to be your journey? Is it something right for you or not? So first, I started with that, right? That in case of non-IT, non-engineering, if you are coming from, go towards, let's say, business intelligence developer, right? That does not stop you from thinking about data analyst or data scientist. Something which you can start with maybe and then get into analyst or data science. But again, it totally depends upon the skill set which you are going to have, right? Sometimes what happens, initial, as a non-tech background, there are three challenges which I have seen, okay, with my students when as a principal instructor at AlmaBetter. what I have seen during the classes, people are facing when I interact with them, when I do one-on-one session with them, what all issues they face. There are three major issue which they generally face. First is initial 2 months. Initial 2 months, it's a coding. ठीक है, पाइथन कोडिंग. And I'm talking specifically from non-tech engineering. फिर भी they are able to take up, but I will include both engineering plus non-engineering folks as well. ठीक है, both of them actually initial 2 months when they are going through the Python coding, they face issue because it's very natural. If you are doing it for the first time, engineering folks, they have C or C++ in their college, they are able to relate. But from non-engineering background, specifically, let's say BCom background, if you're coming from, or any other background, if you're coming from, if you are sure, okay, I want to get into this field, then initial 2 months are something which you find it difficult. Again, in that case, all you have to be resilient, because something, if anybody else can understand, you can also understand it. It will just take time. Okay, initial 2 months. Now, next is because of this initial 2 months, the doubt. Okay, doubt whether it is right for me or not, whether it is the right decision. Okay, now initial 2 months ke baad ke time mein, this doubt is very natural. If you are not able to understand something in one go, you have gone through it twice as well, still you are not able to understand. This particular doubt is something which is very genuine, right? It comes, but it's all about, in any domain you get into, any domain you get into, this doubt will always come. अगर आप कुछ भी स्टार्ट करते हो, आपको इनिशियल में एक डाउट आता है कि यार, should it be something which I should be pursuing, right? So this is what we talk about. कि now let's say if you have thought about it, profile wise क्या होगा, मैं आता हूँ उस पे, but this initial doubt is something, get this very clear in your mind, that still for us, almost 60 to 70% companies, they are coming for just data science skills. Data science as a profile, data analyst, data scientist, all those, they want the right skill. They are not looking for profile. They are not specifically looking for profile from our end, what we have seen from hiring partners. Okay, so if you have decided, if you want to get into it, all you have to do is work on your skill. Okay, this doubt is something which is genuine, but if you have decided, even if it is tough, go through it. Okay, and third, very peculiar thing which we have seen. Okay, they compare. Okay, they compare with other people. So my sessions, whenever I take it, generally it's a lot of interactions. I ask them people to put the answer in the chat. I ask them few questions, and it's very interactive during the sessions. Now, generally, if they are not able to answer, they start comparing themselves. Okay, so initial 2 months, it's going to be hard. They start doubting themselves, and that start coming up कि यार मैं दूसरे से compare करके ये देख रहा हूँ कि मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा. ठीक है, it's part of doubt itself, but this comparison, यार comparison, that person is right now doing really good and I will not be able to take up. So one thing which I will tell, which I always tell to everyone here, it's not something which is a government job ka exam. ठीक है, it's not a government job exam where it will happen only once and everybody will sit at the same time. ठीक है, कि इस साल बैठेंगे नहीं तो अब अगले साल आएगा नहीं. Getting into data science is a continuous process, right? It's a continuous process. Every month, every day, you will see different opportunities coming up. People, based on your time, take your time, get your doubts cleared, get your concepts cleared, and then apply for it, right? You should not wait for कि एक बार सब एग्जाम दिए उसमें से only 1,000 will be selected. Then you should definitely compare whether I am best or not, whether I am doing well or not. But here, take your time. Okay, take your time to get to that level. Once you are at that level, right now, it's something which you can definitely get into. Okay, so these three things generally I have seen across all the students coming from non-tech or non-engineering background. And always, when I take the first session, when I take the first batch ka session, so all these things I make it clear there as well. Okay, this is going to be very natural, but how do you deal with it? How do you keep the interactions open? That is something will help you out at the end. Now, so coming to this part, just one thing which you should be very clear. So right now, more than almost in the last year, if you look at company ka first preference, what we have got in the financial year 2023-24. Data science skill, solely data science skill, almost 60 to 70% companies are asking for that. They are not interested here, ठीक है, with, because data science is not a degree or something. It's a skill which anybody can learn, and it's an interdisciplinary skill which can be applied in any domain. So that is why they are mostly into here. Okay, give me the students who have the data science skill, and I will look into it. If they are good at it, I will consider. The thing is, in most of the cases, the managers or your team members, right, they can also be from non-tech background and they have transitioned to this field. That is why they have lot of belief. Not your manager, your team members, they are not going to be from CS background, right? So they will not expect you to be from CS background or IT background. They understand that they have also done it by learning, by following something, or from somewhere, yeah, they have learned it. So they admire ki, okay, it's all about skill, and at the end you are going to get through it. Okay, so this is what your first thing is, you should be very clear about. Then again, there are companies, and when it goes to companies like thoda service based companies, there they are very peculiar about stream and the college, right? So there also we, it's true, it's not something which we can 100% deny here. Market has not changed, the mentality of companies, it will take some time to change, that still they rely on the degree as if degree will help them out, right? But they are relying on ki, I want, let's say, computer science, I want from this particular domain, and some specific role if they need, then they ask ki, I want somebody who has the experience in banking sector or finance sector. So this is like almost 25-30%. And then there are some things which is very negligible, regional English, totally depends upon the client they deal with. They will require ki, okay, I need somebody who is very good at English or very good at some regional language or something, based on their, right? So this is what we have seen, and the major reason of you be very sure about your skill will be prioritized is, whoever is going to interview you, he will not have the degree in, let's say, data science or computer science. He might also be from different background, and he has transitioned into it along with all the team members. It is never happening here sab ka sab CS ka hai, it will never happen. Okay, with time, now if you want to forward your career, then you should get into, let's say, getting into a degree. If you want to make your whole profile very very strong, and specifically when I talk about, let's say, non-tech background guys, right? uh, Initially when you are starting it off, it's fine, but when you are sure that this is the field which I want to take up, okay, I want to give my 100% to it, you should think about getting a formal education as well. You can think about getting a degree in masters in computer science from anywhere, from AlmaBetter, from any platform you want. That is something which you can choose of, right? But be very sure about it. हाँ ठीक है, मेरे को इस डोमेन में जाना है, I am going to crack it and I'm going to go really forward, right? जैसे mostly आप देखोगे when your career starts, specifically for non-tech background, people generally get into these three, and the majority of people, they get into the let's say non-IT specialized profiles. If you are from non-tech background, right, they might get into senior analysts, product managers, business oriented person. But if you want to get into technical field, then you should get to at least get into the degree, masters in computer science, all those things you can do. But if you want to be in business domain, then you can choose for, let's say, MBA or something to make your career really foolproof. But if you are getting into this technical or research field as well, then you should be choosing for computer science domain ka degree. Okay, and that is, there is no denial specific to, like, specialized in artificial intelligence, machine learning, masters in computer science. That is something which you should definitely think of to make your career for future. आपका जो वो salary का range है, that actually expands. If you have the relevant skill, then you start getting into the top companies. Okay, maybe to aspire for top companies, these your profile has to be shortlisted, because top companies, everybody wants to get in. So you have to build your way through to those companies. I'm going to come to that part now. Okay, I'm going to come to that particular part. So overall, if you look at the profile, right, if you look at everything, it's something which you can look at, that as a fresher from any domain, if you want to get into it, it's the time right now, it's going to grow in the future as well. If you are interested, you have to ensure that you are giving full attention to this, that I want to get into it. No institute, nobody can make you data analyst or data scientist if you are not adopting it and giving it a serious thought, right? So honestly, if you are doing it, if you are regular to your learnings, you will get there. Okay, that is always important, and that is why from our end always we try to emphasize कि यार आपको एफर्ट करना है, आपको भी क्लास है तो क्लास आना पड़ेगा, आप अगर क्लास में हो, आपको पढ़ना है, आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है? तो दैट इज समथिंग ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी देयर, एंड दैट इज समथिंग विच यू शुड बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट, ठीक है? नाउ जनरल बिजनेस यूज केसेस मैं थोड़े बता देता हूँ कि क्या क्या आप जनरली इनकाउंटर करते हो. सो अंटिल नाउ वी हैव अंडरस्टूड द सिनेरियो अबाउट बिजनेस, सिनेरियो अबाउट different career prospects, roles which you are going to look at. Now different use cases, interesting use cases which we generally, I have worked as a consultant, I have worked as a full time, I am right now guiding a lot of students and companies to ensure working on these things like customer segmentation. You need to understand the segment of customer. How many high paying customers are there, high paying plus let's say high frequency wale customers, right? Low paying customers. So those all things you need to understand, and that is what customer segmentation is. It can be from different angles. Just giving you one of the example, fraud detection. Fraud detection, something which I have worked in American Express in the company, where fraud detection is a very big problem. If your credit card, if your or debit card, if that is being used by somebody else, how do you identify during the transaction itself? That will ensure that companies or customer at the end, companies, they want to ensure that customers are getting the seamless experience that is happening, and ensuring ki if there is somebody is doing the fraud, I'm going to detect it. How do we detect? We understand the pattern of transactions. We understand the pattern of spending. अगर आपने 5-10 दिन में कुछ सर्टेन पैटर्न में ट्रांजैक्शन किया है, आपने कुछ खरीदा है, तो आज आपका पैटर्न कैसा होगा? That is something is looked at, and based on that, whether this pattern matches or not, it will be identified, right? Sentiment analysis. किसी भी पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट के लिए आपका क्या sentiment है, positive, negative, not just product, it can be for political party, it can be for anything you see around you. What is your sentiment towards that? Very important around these stocks. Sentiment analysis is very important factor to predict the stock price as well. If about any company sentiment is good, that price will also increase, right? So what is the right point where you buy and sell? Sentiment analysis, something which data science, data analysts, they work on. Okay, I'll not get into each and everything, but few things which I will mention, like recommendation system. Amazon, Swiggy, on all the platforms, you will be seeing something recommended to you, personalized for you. So how it is done? Data science at the end. Your pattern, your data, your behavior, comparing with millions of other users, which what is going to be your behavior? That is something is done by recommendation system. And now price optimization, what should be the right price when you, let's say, book in airline, right? If you book any flight, you see that fluctuates. How that fluctuation is calculated? Is it something manually happening? No, there is an algorithm written by data science guys, written by data analysts, right? They want to analyze and ensure what should be the price right now based on the demand and supply, right? These are the different use cases. Just I want to give you an understanding here, what do we actually work on, what do we work on as a data scientist, what do we work on? So that is something which I want to give you guys, right? Now let's come to required skills and classification. ठीक है, अभी तक हम लोगों ने काफी रोल्स और इन सब चीजों के बारे में बात करी है. Now we will get little bit into the breakdown of what are the required skills, right? And in the simplest manner, how you should be, what you should be focusing on. Okay. So as a fresher, when you are getting into fresher, Python and SQL, this is something which is always going to be asked in your interview. Python programming and SQL programming. SQL, you should be somewhere around, if you have to rate yourself out of 10, then you have to be somewhere around, I would say, more than 7.5 or 8. Okay, more than 7.5 or 8. You should be really good at SQL, because SQL If you don't know, it's a structured query language. You can search about it. It's a database management language. Okay, you manage the databases where all your data is present, and you get the data from tables and databases using the SQL itself. So you can imagine, data scientist, data analyst, all of us, we are nothing without the data. अगर दुनिया में डेटा नहीं है तो हमारा रोल नहीं है. ठीक है. So if you have to get the data, you need to know the SQL. You should be good at SQL. So that is why, as a fresher, this is something you have to put really good focus on, right? That's why we almost give 1 month rigorous to all the different topics, like what is DDL, DML, DQL, how do you write window functions, common table expression. These are like advanced concepts which we generally cover, which makes you apart or takes you from the general crowd to a really special one, where you just don't just know about SQL. How do you apply it? How do you connect with servers? So those are the things which generally getting covered in M3, right? In our third module, generally we cover it. Same goes with Python. We give 2 months because Python is something, it's very important for data science now. You go and search about it, that which language used for data science. You will see couple of language names: Python, R. So Python has taken so much of the market that now Python has become the pioneer or the top leader in terms of language, right? So many libraries. It's so easy to train your machine learning model. You will look into the course, you will look when you learn about it, right? There are sklearn. It's so easy to manipulate the data, pandas, numpy, right? It's so easy to, let's say, scrape the data by using beautiful soup. So there are so many different packages created, and it's so powerful that it gives you a lot of capabilities in terms of doing the data science. That's why Python and SQL, core of the data science, you should be good at it. If I have to tell you that as a fresher, again, Python is a vast language and it's a complete language in itself. You can create the website using Django, whereas you can train your model, deep learning model, using PyTorch or the Keras TensorFlow on written on with Python. These are the packages, these are the different things, right? So Python, you should be at least 6 out of 10. It should be above average, not the best at it because a lot of things are there, but you should be good at least pandas. You should be good at, uh, let's say, you should be good at the basics of data structures and algorithm, arrays and strings. So all these things are covered, how it should be done. You should know how to deal with data. Now, coming to the next part, once you have understanding of this, as I mentioned, as a fresher, you are going to be very clearly, relevant for the business intelligence developer, BI developer. ठीक है. BI developer में Tableau, Power BI and Excel. These three things, very important. You should know how to present the data. There are like DAX functions here, right? All those different things are there. Maybe initially, as a fresher, you should know how to choose which chart, how to represent the data. Those are the things which you have to look into. Now, next, here, if I have to give the skill ka level, then it should be somewhere around again 7.58 or even 9 as well. Okay, these things, if you are, the better you are, the better chance would be to get good salary, right? So you have to get into this as a fresher. Okay, everybody has done it. Whoever is in this field, very rarely somebody will say कि अब जो भी जा रहे हैं, they are not using these tools to uh, do the analysis. Now, at the end, maths and ML, people are generally care how deep it is required. So, as a fresher, it's not that required, right? If you are, let's say, aiming for the junior data scientist kind of role, then maybe you get into machine learning and all those. Statistics as well, you don't require a lot of statistics to get into this field. You require the hypothesis testing, you require the hypothesis testing हो गया, distributions. So these things you require. Generally, what I have seen, that when you go and start it, it will be given to you कि algebra पढ़ो, ये पढ़ो, वो पढ़ो, बहुत सारी चीजें पढ़ो. But as a fresher, you don't need it. When you want to get into research domain or data scientist, when you get into the algorithms more deeply, then you should know about the mathematics behind it a lot. But as a fresher, there is a limit to how much you should know. There is a limit that how much time you should be investing. Okay, so you can go ahead on our website, you can look at it. That is something which is open to everyone. You can look at what are the topics we should be knowing, and that is the something which we have optimized over the years. We have optimized in last 3 to 4 years, while working with lot of companies, getting lot of requirements from them. You can go to LinkedIn, search AlmaBetter, and see people getting placed in different every day people are getting placed. So what they are asked. So those are some things which you will which we have find out, and there is a limit to everything. ठीक है, आप किसी भी चीज में PhD नहीं करना है. SQL can be learned for 1 year, and then also it will not, you will not feel it is complete, but there is a limit to it, right? Same goes with Tableau, Power BI. There is a limit to it. If this is what you need to cover, you don't have to over optimize, over learn something, and spend time on one thing to miss out on other things. Because data science at the end, it is interdisciplinary, where you need to know three, four, five things to make it happen, the analysis to do. When you have 2 3 years of experience, when you get into it, I'll not get much into it, but then you will be asked advanced DSA, generally graph trees. These are some things which you might be asked in interviews, specifically when you aspire for top product companies. When you aspire for top product companies, advanced DSA, graph, these will become important. But as a fresher, if you want to get into it, ये सब पे time waste नहीं करना है. ठीक है, you don't have to waste your time on this. You just have to go to the basics of DSA, and then focus on other things, Tableau, Power BI, and Excel, to get a job. Advanced DSA, I have seen people spending 1 year almost to get into DSA. यही पढ़ूंगा मैं, यही सी पे काम करूंगा, नहीं. ठीक है, it will not get you anything. Even if you are learning these in interviews, you will be asked questions on other things, right? You will be asked questions on other things. Then you have ML ops as a थोड़ा cloud engineering, product management. These are some things as experience you get, you start looking at everything from a overall perspective. Design of systems, how do you do all these, right? Now let's, this is something which is coming around the technical skill, right? These are the technical skills which you are going to get. Next is, there are two things which actually differentiates you, and it's a continuous process which actually helps you get into the top companies. ठीक है, ये जो आप करोगे, this is something which makes you ready for this role. Now two things which I'm going to tell you, this is something which helps you get into the top companies. And first is building the portfolio. ठीक है, working on 1 2 project is one thing, but participating in competitions, ठीक है, participating in different competitions. So Kaggle is one of the platform. Okay, Kaggle is one of the platform, you can just go ahead and search about it. This platform, competitions are happening, lot of available data sets are there. There you have to build your portfolio, you have to work on the capstone project. First start with the basic, let's say competition there, that participating in competitions, right? Working on different projects, that helps you build your portfolio for top companies. Top companies, they have become top by working, making their whole system the best, the product the best. ये सब जो कंपनी है, ये इतना बेस्ट प्रोडक्ट बनाई है क्योंकि they have really invested in good people. They want to hire the best people in their team, right? And how are they going to identify? They are going to identify over time. It might not happen tomorrow or 1 year. Your first job might not be the top companies, but over time you work on, you know, uh, building your portfolio, right? You work on building your portfolio. समझे? So आप इसके ऊपर जो है देख सकते हो, projects कर सकते हो, and keep on updating your profile, keep on making yourself better and better, right? Peer-to-peer projects on GitHub. So put all these things on GitHub so that people can look at it. You can work on a lot of public repository as well if you become that good. But it's always going to be first basic things. Then utilizing those basic things, technical skill, you build your portfolio. And then after that, very important thing for data scientist, right? I know Here most of you might feel, okay, I might not be good at English, I might not be good at communication, I might not be good at presenting myself. But that is not the excuse over the years. If you started today, you have to work on soft skill. That is why in our program, mostly when you start in getting into the job side of it, before that almost 2 months, there is a rigorous business communication sessions going on, because we understand the importance of business communication, right? We understand about it, that how to focus on what should be your body language, how you should communicate. At the end of it, data science, if you have done some analysis, if you have got some numbers, if you are not able to explain it, it's of no use. Okay, if you are aspiring to join top companies, okay, because this whole session is about giving you a direction. So first thing is basic technical, build your portfolio and make your soft skill so good that you are able to explain yourself, present yourself and talk about things, right? Now what all things are there in soft skill? Articulation and storytelling. This is a separate topic altogether. How do you articulate, how do you tell a story, how to make sure that people are listening to you? So all those things are there, which comes under articulation and storytelling. Very important, right? How do you talk about it? Let's say, giving you a simple example, there is an analyst one, right? Analyst one and analyst two. So analyst one will say, if analyst one is asked, what is the sales? Just giving you something which you will understand. Sales in June 2024. This analyst is saying, okay, in June 2024, the sales is 2 lakhs. Okay. Analyst 2 is asked, okay, tell me what is the sales in June. So this analyst saying it is 2 lakhs. Right now, it's almost 1.5 times more than the last month. Okay. And it's almost, let's say, 3 times from the last year's June. These two things will differentiate you. Next time, this analyst too will be asked the next question, because just by giving me this 2 lakhs versus just adding these two information, it's very easy to get. But if you know how to talk about your the term, how to talk about different things, then you will be always preferred. And this is what makes you, that gives you that journey of getting into the top companies, right? So all of these things, I'm sure that all of you guys must be understanding these, and in future at least you have this in subconscious mind, what you should be prioritizing on, and how all these things are important. Generally people tend to ignore पहला दो चीज बहुत लोग करते हैं, टेक्निकल स्किल पोर्टफोलियो बनाना बहुत लोग कर लेते हैं, बट दिस इज वेयर पीपल जनरली लैक. Okay, and especially from different reasons, where English is not something which is prioritized in the household, right? It is difficult in school, in colleges, every time, everywhere. We have seen that communication is not prioritized. And communication is not just about English. Communication is much more than that. Communication is how do you simplify things, how do you explain something, how do you talk about something with right emphasis. So those are some things which are not at all prioritized in different programs and all the colleges and everywhere, right? So that is something which you have to keep on focusing. It will not happen in 1 month, it will not happen in 6 months, it will not happen in 1 year as well. It will take you 2 3 years of experience to talk and identify the key things, who wants to listen to what, all those things you have to look at. So structured thinking, case studies and guesstimate, these are the part of soft skills. But over time you will be looking at these things, right? Business communication, personal branding. So now after 2 3 years in this field, it's important to start. Maybe not everybody has to be YouTuber, right? But you should at least write some blogs, you should write some post, you should work with public repository as a if you want to contribute to some open source projects, that will take your skill from level 1 to level 100. Okay, and when you start doing these things, then top company will recognize you, that you are the person who is different from all the people, you are the person who is best of the best, should be part of the team, right? So again, just a quick 2 minutes, I will give you a revision. So first thing is building up the basics. This is like building up the basics, right? This is like connecting the dots and practical application. This is like practical application you look at, right? And then third is presenting yourself, right? Presenting yourself. You don't start it from here, you started from here itself. This is the first step. This is the step one. This is your step two. And this is your step three. Okay? What you should be making better and better. Okay? All right. So I hope you guys have got this. Just quickly, I will now tell you what are the interview processes we have seen. So almost 90 to 95% companies which we have worked with, hiring partners we have worked with, there are almost these many rounds. Always it starts with the application. We through referrals, through job portals, from different platform you can, if you apply. The first thing will be technical assessment, right? Very important. That is why Python and SQL I mentioned that you should be very good with, because the first round itself will be about the technical challenge. You will be given 2 3 questions to solve, and then after that you will be selected. From our end, we, so a lot of companies are there, they have this notion of profile and all the things. We tell them that, okay, please give the chance to these students. They have the skill, they have spent a significant amount of time. Take the technical assessment. We push to our company as well, take the technical assessment. And again, at AlmaBetter, lot of practice, lot of competitions, lot of things happens in the background to help you get that to that level. But all the companies, we tell them, don't look at the profile, please conduct a technical assessment, right? So that is what our pitch is, and something which a lot of companies now they do, they have started recognizing this. Now after this, your round one will be with immediate manager, asking you questions on your portfolio, on your projects, and very technical round. Very technical in terms of asking you power BI में DAX क्या है, DAX में what all different functions are there, right? From that, in SQL what this is, in Python what, how do you solve this. So this will be very technical round. This is like technical max. Okay, this is like technical max. Now once you clear this, very few people, let's say if you are fighting with 10, here it will be 5, and after this 2 students will go forward. It's something which I'm talking about as per our experience. Now in round 2 it will be on project, right? In round 2 it will be on project, that more towards the case study, more towards the bigger picture, if you are able to understand. And it is done with senior kind of people, right? Senior manager, or sometimes CXOs as well. So that is something which you are going to face. After this, out of these two, uh, mostly if you are in these two guys, 95% चांस कि दोनों का होगा, या एक का अगर होना होगा तो it's going to be based on कि आपको कितना understanding है, and what is your expectation, how well you are able to articulate things, if you are culturally fit, then all those things will be looked at to give you the final HR round के बाद offer letter. Okay. Now here what I want to mention is these two things are fine. This technical assessment people generally they tend to forget. Okay, they work on lot of projects, they work on lot of things, but they forget about this. The technical assessment, I have to appear, and if I don't have the good practice hands-on with Python and SQL, I'll not be able to clear. That's why like practicing Python and SQL, one question at least every day, that is always something which is recommended, and which we mention from our end. Okay. All right. Now we are done with the session, right? A few case studies which I'm going to talk about, right? Which you might, all you have seen it, but you can go through it. This whole, material and everything will be shared with all of you guys. Recording will also be accessible to all of you. If you want to go through it, if you want to understand how do I start my journey, by looking at what top companies are doing, right? You should know always what is the top, and then you should plan your journey towards it. These are few data driven solutions or case studies different companies are working on. Like Facebook, they have worked on a lot user engagement and retention. I will attach some blog with each and everything, so that you can go through it if you are interested. Then product recommendation system, which Amazon have perfected it, right? Amazon, Netflix, these companies, they have perfected the recommendation system so much that you, once you search about it, it will stick to you. They will build your interest, your interest profile, and it will always show you based on your interest and personalize your search and the recommendation. A/B testing and product optimization. So in Google, specifically Google Analytics is one of the product which they have given to you to do the A/B testing. Plus, they have done a lot of A/B testing in terms of search algorithms, in terms of user interfaces, how things are going to be optimized. We might not know about this. We might not clearly see it, but they keep on doing this. 10,000 people will see a result from this algorithm, rest of them will see result from another algorithm. Which algorithm is working best? That is something which we call it as A/B testing. Then fraud detection, PayPal, American Express, these guys have invested a lot in this, and this ensures the trust of everyone, right? Supply chain optimization, where to put the warehouse, how much time it should be taking for the product right after the order to get delivered. If it is like Zepto, Blinkit happening in 10 minutes, the trust level goes very up, right? It goes very high. You will get that habit of it. Whereas if it comes in 1 week or 2 weeks, you will not build that habit, you will not trust that company. So that kind of optimization is required, where the warehouse should be nearest warehouse from the location from where lot of people are ordering. So how it should be optimized, that's what supply chain optimization is. Customer support, chatbots, market research, competitive analysis, content moderation is something very, very, very important. So you can imagine on Twitter, if you have used it, so many people are putting up the content. I can talk about the YouTube as well. On YouTube, billions of minutes of videos are being uploaded on a daily basis, weekly basis, right? So how do you look at what all are offensive? Right, so they have very sophisticated algorithm which identifies that in this frame something about negative or something about offensive is being talked about. So they remove it, they flag it, they take the video down by itself, right? So it can always be like two layers. One is from the machine, whatever output is coming up, then somebody who will be review it as well, right? So that is all from my end, guys. I hope you guys have understood the overall picture, how things are right now structured, right? I am here to take up your question. Meanwhile, if you guys have interest, if you want to know about AlmaBetter, if you want to get into the program, we have here person who will be taking you through the AlmaBetter course, AlmaBetter's offerings. If you are interested, you can very well get into it, right? All the instructors, as a principal instructor, so all of us will be interacting with you to make your dream and make your I would say journey happen to get to the final scenario. But at the end of it, I would say this is the field which if you choose to get into it, go 100%, right? Make sure that you have all the heart and soul to get into it. If you do that, lot of people I have seen doing it from different profiles, you can also do it. But it's very important that you are very clear from your end. Okay, I am going to go 100% in this, right? That is all from my end, guys. Give a quick thumbs up if you have understood the topics, the concept which we have, which I have mentioned. You have the emoji on your dashboard. Please utilize it and give a thumbs up. It will be really increasing from my end and to all of you guys. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. This in itself, you have set yourself apart from anybody else, right? Because on a lot of people they dream about it, but joining a seminar of 1.5 hour, where everything is discussed in detail, not just giving you a fairy scenario of about everything. I have tried to give you the real scenario, the realistic what happens in industry as per my experience, as per the collective experience I have got from different mentors interacting with different industry people. This is something which I wanted to give you guys as an initiative by AlmaBetter. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Be with the session if you are interested. Then from my team, uh, here Navneet is going to join. He will be talking about the programs. He will be talking about different products, programs which you can join, and again make your decision if you want to get into data science field. Thank you so much. Navneet, I believe you are there. Hey Navneet, are you able to hear me?
Yes. Hi, Alok sir. How are you?
Doing really good. How are you doing, Navneet?
Great, great, great. Thank you for giving me a chance to hold up this session. So yeah, I will be taking ahead from here itself.
All right.
Thanks.
So over to you, Navneet. Over to you. You can now. I will just go out of the stage. You can share your screen and
Sure,
take the session as
sure.
just. Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Hello guys, very warm welcome to this particular session. As you all have, I might have got some few basic idea from the session itself, right? How the things work out in product companies when it comes to the hiring into data science, right? So now I have joined the session to give you a fair idea like what AlmaBetter is having for you guys and how exactly AlmaBetter can help you to get enter into this transition which you are looking forward for. So Kevin has some word for here. Myself, Kevin Dunn, my BSc title back 2022. Now enroll for AlmaBetter Future Data Science course. Classes are starting by Monday. Great, great, Kevin. Welcome on board with AlmaBetter session. Right. I hope all of the candidate who are already present in the audience, just give me a thumbs up if my screen is visible and I am audible clearly to you guys. Just wanted a thumbs up from your side for the reaction scenario. Great, great. So now, as you can see on my screen, so very warm welcome to this masterclass event. I won't be taking much time. I'll be giving you a brief idea about AlmaBetter, what exactly we do. The very first thing you can see on my screen is like AlmaBetter is actually a platform which prefers community first learning, where a candidate can be able to study in groups to learn and get motivated from each other. The peer-to-peer learning which we exactly focus on, right? Apart from that, along with the curriculum, you would be getting access to the live caption projects. Now, individually doing a project never work out whenever you are working in a team with your faculty, your mentor, your batchmate. That is where the experience comes into the picture, right? So here you get a complete team set where basically you would be working on your project with your batchmates and also by networking with the industry alumni which we have who got placed from our platform, getting ready for jobs, and by networking with them, you would be getting referrals as well. So that is how we are actually approached as a community first learning platform. Going ahead, why exactly to choose Alma Better? There are few pointers you can see on my screen, guys, which I wanted to share with you. So basically over here, you can see the very first thing which we mostly follow is the industry relevant curriculum, covering the topics from basic to advanced, as Alok sir mentioned in the session. Over here, we do cover up the things from scratch. Now, if someone who is coming from a non-tech background or a technical background, who are switching from one domain to another into data science, and for the very first time they are getting into the particular experience of it, we over here start the things from very scratch. Going ahead, 100 plus live classes with lifetime access to recorded lectures. So as soon as you get onboarded with our platform, with our program, over there what exactly happens that whatever the recordings, the assignments, the projects you would be doing in the dashboard of yours, that will be with you for lifetime. Moreover, we conduct live sessions which happens 3 days in a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Timings of the live session are 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Moreover, that suppose if you are someone who is unable to attend the live session, who is going through recordings only, right? It's not like you would be randomly going through the topics and there would be no one to solve your doubts. Feel free to ask basically because teaching assistants are there to solve your doubts one on one over a video call. Any point of time, if you're stuck anywhere, teaching assistant actually remains present throughout the day, evening till evening 9 p.m. You can say from afternoon 12 till evening 9. Apart from that, the third pointer is 20 plus caption project along with 1,000 plus coding problems and assessments. That is where exactly the things come into the picture, where you would be able to justify your skill set, the practical exposure which we look for, right? Because at the end of the day, when you are looking forward to enter into the industry, over there whatever skill sets you are mentioning in the resume actually gets justified by your practical experience where you have applied those skill sets, right? In the program you would be getting access to 20 plus live caption projects which we source from our hiring partner. Along with that, daily doubt resolution sessions which is from the teaching assistants, along with one-on-one mentorship. So, a personal mentor is the backbone of your profile whenever you are looking forward to shift to any particular domain, right? That is what we all believe also. And we do have mentors available from the industry having around 6 to 8 years of experience, or even more, who will be guiding you in and out one on one from the very starting till the end. 50 plus mock interviews with dedicated career coach. Once you complete the program, you enter into our placement services, where before the placements, basically over there you get mock interviews, and these mock interviews are being taken by your career coach one on one. so that you also get to know what kind of scenarios you can expect when it comes to the primary interview, right? And last but not the least, 100% job guarantee with 700 plus hiring point. Now, this is the basic and most, relaxable information from our side, that over here, once who completes the program and clears the test, we provide them 100% job guarantee with 700 plus hiring partner companies, which we have on board and actively hiring from us, right? Now, what are the learning activities do we do? Over here, from the very first thing for technical skill sets, live lectures, lab experiment, projects, group discussion, all this we do to, cover up your technical skill set part. For motivation and industry exposure, one-on-one mentorship, guest lectures from IIT Guwahati professors. We do have program collaborated with IIT Guwahati, which we call as Iconic program. If anybody wants to know more about that particular thing, we'll be connecting with you one-on-one, right, to discuss all things in brief. And the AlmaX, which is the third pointer you are able to see mandatory for AlmaX, that is the career service program of ours. Once you complete the program and clear the test, which we call AB CAT test, right? There they enter into the AlmaX career service part where caption project and competency challenges comes into the picture. Now, if you all would be having questions like regarding the companies hiring from us, it's completely on your screen, guys. More than 700 plus companies: Amazon, Uber, Novartis, Myntra, Vedantu, United Lex, Target, Grow. These all are the top product companies who are directly hiring from us. What are the salary distribution of AlmaBetter graduates? That is what we have in the screen right now. 5 to 7 LPA, minimum which we guarantee is 5, right? Below than that, there are no offers. 19% of candidates are able to achieve it. 29% of candidates are able to achieve between 7 to 8. And 8 to 9 is the highest bracket, 37% of candidates, which is the average package between 8 to 12 LP of our platform till now. Then 9 to 10, then over 10 LP, depending upon the inputs you would be giving in the program, and accordingly the output will be falling in picture. Now, the most important thing, you guys will be really willing to know that who all will be your instructors and mentors over here in the program with us. You can see on my screen. Rachit Jain, data scientist at BCG. Ravi Ranjan, data scientist, publicist, Sapient. Sayan, data scientist, consultant at Walmart. So these are the kind of professionals whom we have on board, have more ample amount of experience where they have analyzed the industry in and out and would be able to guide you in that manner so that you would be able to land up your career in that domain which you are looking for. Neeraj Sharma, they all are basically the web development domain of ours, the program which we conduct in web development. Apart from that, success stories you can see on my screen. There are a lot of success stories which we have on a daily basis. We update it on LinkedIn, right? So you would be able to check over there that how the success stories actually gonna look like, right? Now, coming to the part, what's the dashboard will be looking like, right? Let me just share my screen with you with the dashboard so that you guys will be able to see like what exactly do we have over the dashboard in our platform, right? I will be sharing with you the link as well, guys, over the chat box so that you can open it side by side and also do follow the same. Till then, any question, any doubts, guys, if you have, if you can also put it up on the chat box. I have shared with you a link over there in the chat section. This is the link through our dashboard you can access. You can directly access the dashboard from this option link which I have shared. Ravi is asking sir interview की preparation. So basically interview preparation के लिए रवि हम यहाँ पे basically यहाँ पे अभी मैं dashboard दिखाने वाला हूँ आपको, वहाँ से आपको एक idea मिलेगा कि कैसे हम interview की preparation में focus करते हैं, right? Fees हम discuss करेंगे ज़रूर, right? एक surprise है सारे candidates के लिए. Who all are the candidates attending this session would be getting a surprise at the end once we are done with the dashboard walkthrough, right? So please stick with us. Don't leave this session. I will just showcase you something interesting over here. So this is my screen. I believe it is visible to you guys. So this is the dashboard particularly which we mostly follow. Now this is the home section where you will be getting all the options available to check your track list and everything. From the learn section, you would be able to see all the modules which are available. So this we are discussing about the full stack data science certification program. It's a 6 months program. 6 modules will be there, right? And at the same point of time, the very first module will be introduction to computer programming, covering all the Python aspects and everything. Then we enter into numerical programming in Python, data structure algorithm, data wrangling libraries, data visualization libraries, all the things. Then we move to SQL, the databases, the very third module, right? After that, you enter into data visualization tools with data analysis using Excel, Tableau, Power BI. All these tools we're going to cover up. Then applied statistics, where maths and statistics comes into the picture. and at the end, introduction to machine learning. So these are the 6 modules which we're gonna cover up over here in our program, so that end to end you would be completely developed as a full stack data scientist, right? And are ready to join the industry. Classroom section, you would be able to see what all are the classes available for you guys in the upcoming time period, and you can join from here itself, access the recording from here itself. Practice session, so basically in this section you would be able to practice all the problems which all the topics is going through in the live class, right? And you can see over here itself that what all are the questions you are going to practice. You also would be able to see in which companies they are mostly asked, right? So it will help you to analyze that how companies putting forward the question when they conduct interview rounds, right? Moreover, supplementary courses are there, the free courses which you would be able to access from here itself. As a free user, you can access it from the link which I have given to you, right? Moving to the project part. So yeah, basically which we all discuss at the end of the day, the justification of your practical skill set, right? So here total 20 plus capstone project you would be working on. At the same point of time, you can see what all are the projects do we have. We collaborate with this kind of companies, source the real-time data sets from there, and make you work in those skill sets so that you would be complete industry ready at the end of this particular program. That is the thing. When it comes to career, here you to track your progress, that how much you have completed the program, and basically where you are standing ahead at as of now, and enter into the placement services. Mentorship, one-on-one mentorship you can get from here itself. You would be able to see the mentors who are available. You would be able to see the recordings as well, that how the previous mentorship session actually looked like, which we have recorded to give you an enhanced idea. Job board is something where you can check out what all are the daily basis jobs are being posted, right? So you can see on my screen itself, it's available for all the users, so that you can check it out over there itself, what all are the jobs are being posted by the companies. You would be able to see the job description and the apply option from here itself. Then refer and earn is something like when you get enrolled in the program, if someone of your known person is looking for it, you can refer them and add benefit out of it, right? So this is what about the program, guys. This is what about the dashboard walkthrough, if we could say, right? Now, as you have got a bit idea, whatever your questions or doubts will be related to the program, I would be connecting with you guys one on one, right? Where we would be discussing complete thing about the program, in and out aspects of it, fee structure, and all the thing. Now it's time to clear it out the surprise for you guys. So whosoever is willing to participate in this program, I have one coupon code which is mentioned on my screen, and that is available for only first 5 users. So if you can apply this coupon code, I will just type it on the chat box. If you will apply it on the website itself, you would be getting a slash 20% discount on the course which we have available on the platform on certification of full stack data science, iconic IIT Guwahati program, right? So this is something which the very first 5 candidates will be able to access it. And I am sharing my WhatsApp number, guys. Do ping me on WhatsApp if you want to know more about the program. And at the same point of time, my team and I will be connecting with you one on one to discuss all the aspects of the program in brief, and also to share with you real time insights. So it's the time for Q&A, guys. Anyone of you having any question, anything which you want to ask, any doubts, anything related to the program. So if you want to ask, you can ask me right away. I am here to answer your question for 5 more minutes, and then we would be wrapping up this session, and we would be connecting one on one as well. किसी के पास अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन है पूछने के लिए, आप जरूर पूछ सकते हो चैट बॉक्स में, Q&A में, anywhere in this session, and I would be solving it out. Anyone having any question, any doubts, ping me right away on the chat box. I am there to assist you. In case if you would be having question later on, मैंने अपना पर्सनल नंबर वहाँ शेयर कर दिया है चैट बॉक्स पे, राइट? You can ask me question directly, texting me on WhatsApp. Don't call me. Basically, I might remain busy over meetings, but you can text me directly over WhatsApp. That will be the best option to reach out to, right? Otherwise, we're gonna connect one on one, guys, and basically we're gonna discuss everything. This coupon code which I have shared with you, man20, exactly give you a slash price of 20% discount from the website. Whatever the MRP would be shown there, 20% slash discount you would be getting. So for the first 5 candidates, we have made it available, right? Whosoever the first 5 candidates would be able to avail it, they would be able to access it on the very first one, right? So as I can see, no questions are being asked over here. So for that, I can believe that we can end up and wrap up the session over here itself. So very much thank you guys for joining this particular session. I believe you got a very clear idea from this particular masterclass, and Alok sir has shared some useful thoughts. Question is that what will be the usual time period that AlmaBetter students for getting jobs after placement training? So normally what happens, Ravinder, that basically over here, the program which we conduct is for 6 months. Once you complete a 6 months program, after that you need to appear for a test, which is AB CAT test, right? Now this AB CAT test is something which you need to clear. 60% is the marks needs to be scored. Multiple attempts will be given, right? Now, what exactly happens once you clear the test? You enter into our placement services. Now, in the placement services, 1 to 1.5 months of one-on-one rigorous trainings of yours will be happening, which is pre-interview preparation. After that, only you would be aligned with interviews and can be able to crack multiple offers through us itself. So, the question is there. I got mentioned somewhere in AlmaBetter website payment after job placement. May I know if there is anything like that? Yes, there is the things like that. What exactly happened? Just give me a moment, guys. Sorry for the interruption, guys. That was an important call I have to take. Yeah, so I got mentioned somewhere AlmaBetter website payment after job placement. May I know if there is anything like that? Yes, yeah, there is the program like that. So what exactly happens? The program which we conduct for 6 months, right? Tuition fees is payable upfrontly. If you join the IIT Iconic Guwahati means Iconic program, right? 70,800 is the MRP. That is the tuition fees on the website, which needs to be paid upfrontly. But the placement charges are completely pay after placement. So once you get a job, once you get an offer, when you accept that offer, when you join the company, then only placement charges are applicable, which you will be paying on a monthly basis from your salary. That is 10,000 rupees per month from your salary for 15 months. That is 1.5 lakh. So placement charges you do not need to pay anytime before. Once you get the placement, then only you will be paying the placement charges. Otherwise, tuition fees of the program is completely payable upfront. So without paying the tuition fees, you can't get on board with the program. That is the thing. Any other question, any other doubt, if anyone is having, which you want to ask? So I believe there is no question anymore, and I believe I was able to answer all the question. Yeah, you are good at explaining that, but I asked that will be what will be the time period it takes for students after placement training alone? You can answer using passed out student data. Yeah, basically, see, 6 months is the program. After that, 1.5 months is the training, 7.5 months. After 7.5 months, you would be completely getting aligned with the interview point. That is it. So by 8.5 months to 9 months, you would be having multiple offers in your hand. That is what we are guaranteeing over here. That is the point. Now, if you are someone who is wrapping up the program before the time, you have the option for that as well. So if you want to complete the program in 4 months, you can do that also. Because on the very first day, you would be having live classes and recorded sessions completely available on your dashboard. That is the thing. So if you're completing the program in 4 months also, that is also fine with us. Completely depends upon. Any other question, any other doubts you guys have, you can ask me. Otherwise, it's time to say goodbye. So yeah, I will be getting in touch with you guys one on one over the phone call, and then there will be discussing all the things. Right? If you will be having any questions for me, then we can discuss over there one on one and wrap this up. As I have shared with you the coupon code, guys, So you can utilize this coupon code to get a better scholarship to enter into the program, and then accordingly we're gonna take this ahead, right? So very thank you for joining the particular session, guys, and it was great to have you on board, right? And let's look forward for a positive response from your end. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.